Welcome to No Fall Weddings, Week 4 recap. Your boy JP's a little under the weather this morning, so bear with me. I want to thank my boy Jared, fellow Buckeye fan, for creating the No Fall Wedding sign you see behind me. I feel so official now. So please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Yesterday, college football tried to do a 24-hour marathon. Texas Tech and Utah kicked off at 10 a.m. local time, Mountain West out there. And USC Michigan State kicked off at 11 p.m. Eastern time. That game didn't end till just before 3 a.m. Now, I love me some college football, but if I ever had to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch one of my teams, of course I would do it. It was a quieter week in college football, but there were definitely some interesting games, so let's get to it. Let's start with that slobber knocker that happened in Auburn and Oklahoma. The return of Jackson Arnold back to Oklahoma after a year starting last year, and gotta say, didn't feel like the biggest warm welcome from the fans. Can't totally blame him though, because their current quarterback, John Mateer, is the most entertaining quarterback going right now. I don't know how great he is, but he is fun to watch. It's kind of fun seeing Oklahoma have a good defense again. Not used to it. You know, they got Brett Venables a couple years ago, and just that did nothing to how horrid they had been. But patience. Sometimes it works. But Woso, my podcast partner, I'm looking at you because you got away with something. I understand the phrase, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but this was a little over the top. For anybody that didn't see it, an Oklahoma wide receiver ran to the sideline, which is the universal sign that, hey, I'm subbing, coming out for a play. But instead of coming out, he stops at the sideline, they huddle, get ready for the play, and he runs down the sideline. Mateer throws it to him for a touchdown. It's like, oh my God, how do you get so open? Yeah, that's technically against the rules. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct. It's what they call a scummy play, I would say. And the good old SEC refs did not catch it. No, I don't blame the Auburn coach for being livid. It cost him 7 points, and the game ends up a 6-point win for Oklahoma. Could have used those. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the weather, but it just looked like a hard-hitting game. And that was way more entertaining than the shootouts that were happening last week between like Tennessee and Georgia. Like, I want to see some hitting. I want to see some defense, some playmaking by the quarterbacks, but that was a great game to watch. Oklahoma, man. I think they're going to beat Texas in a few weeks. At least I hope they do. We're going to get to that later. They got some stuff. I don't know. Might have a future JP versus Woso game in the college football playoff. Never know. All right, the rest of the slate was mostly about blowouts. One team impressing the committee, or is it just one was a little overranked? Starting with Texas Tech and Utah. Texas Tech was left for dead for basically the last decade. They have been bad. I'm looking at the list of their seasons, and it's just littered with 4 losses, 5 losses, 6 losses, 4 losses. They just have not been relevant since Michael Crabtree. But along comes NIL, Texas Oil, and those billionaire boosters. And all of a sudden, they're back in the mix. Now, that's just the way college football is right now. I'm not going to hate on it. If you can pay for the players deserve it, right? We live in a capitalist society, right? Right? Even when they lost their quarterback, they turned it on. 34-10. That's a tough look for Utah. You know, Indiana got a lot of hate for their out-of-conference schedule, and really well-deserved. They basically played the Sisters of the Poor 3 times, but their first test, hosting top 10 Illinois, and they smacked them. That's a statement they made to the rest of the Big Ten, and especially the top tier, that, hey, we can play with you. Yes, Illinois may have been a tad overrated, but I'm not going to cry because SEC teams are overrated all the time. Miami, the U, continues to avoid the Mario Cristobal game. Now, the score may have ended up a blowout, but Florida had the ball twice in the fourth quarter with the chance to take a lead. And this is after they only had 40 yards in the first half. 40. What a complete joke, that preseason Heisman hype for DJ Lagway. This dude cannot throw the ball downfield. The only way they moved the ball was running it or throwing screens. I don't think Miami was that impressive overall. I think Carson Beck really struggled. But listen, when you have more talent than the other team, which Miami hasn't really had for the last 5, 6, 8 years, That's how you win games. You're just more talented. And as long as you don't make mistakes, play good defense, you'll find a way to win. Starting to feel like Miami might be back. Okay, it's time to get a little serious. I've had a lot of laughs at Clemson's expense the last couple of years, but after watching them getting smoked by Syracuse at home yesterday, I think it's time. It's time to have a funeral. A funeral for Clemson's time as a top-tier program in college football. And who better to do the eulogy than this Clemson hater? Many, many years ago, we had the term Clemsoning. It was wonderful. They would always find a way to lose the big game, choke against a team they had no business losing to. Clemsoning was a thing. But then Dabo started to figure it out. He recruited quarterbacks Taj Boyd, Deshaun Watson, and Trevor Lawrence. And all of a sudden, they were by far the second best team behind Nick Saban's Alabama. And they beat Nick Saban's Alabama twice to win the championship. No other team can say they did that. They had easily established themselves as a top-tier college football team. But then came January 1st, 2021. Ohio State versus Clemson. The Sugar Bowl. College football playoff semifinal. Now, we are in the middle of COVID, and the Big Ten originally canceled the season, but then they decided to bring it back. So Ohio State had only had 6 games under their belt. Now, it was 6 dominating wins, but that didn't matter to Dabo, because before they played each other in the Sugar Bowl, Dabo voted Ohio State 11th in the coaches poll. 11th. You would ask, why would he do that? Oh, because he's high and mighty, and you know what? They don't deserve it. I wonder if that motivated Ohio State.
4-man rush. Fields has time. Launches downfield. It's Olave. He's got a touchdown. Ohio State.
A 49-28 beatdown later, and Clemson has never been the same. 14 losses their next 4 years, and now they're off to a 1-3 start. They can no longer be taken seriously as a national championship contender. That means no more preseason hype, no more Heisman hype. It's all done. Yeah, you can hang around between 12 and 20 in the rankings. Yeah, you can say, oh, maybe we can win the ACC. That's cool. But you are no longer a national title contender, Clemson. Clemsoning is back. All right, let's do the plays of the day. Got to start with Purdue coming up with a brilliant touchdown design. Watch this.
On 1st and goal. Mockabee has it and then slings it out to Ryan Brown.
At the expense of my Irish defense, but I can't hate. That's a great play, and I want to steal that 10 times over. Second play is Dylan Raiola of Nebraska throwing it up at halftime.
Some pressure. Now he's going to load it pretty soon and let it fly. There it comes. Jump ball in the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Michigan fans, you've seen Hail Marys happen before. All right, let's do some quick hits around the country. Speaking of Nebraska, they have now lost their 28th consecutive game to top 25 teams. Not top 5, not top 10, top 25. Nebraska holding on to their past as, I guess, a national program, but they're kind of a joke. And they get a little too much hype at the beginning of the year as well. Arch Manning flexing on a future claims adjuster from Sam Houston State. What a loser. I really do hope Oklahoma bends them in half. On a personal note, CJ Carr is my dude. The best Notre Dame quarterback since Brady Quinn. And I think he's going to end up being better. I really do. He's only a redshirt freshman, and this dude can sling it. Fortunately, to get that quarterback, we had to completely forget how to play defense. Chris Ash, you are on the hot seat. We have been top 5 defense the last 3 years, and we give you the reins, and we give up 30 points to Purdue. Not good enough. Let's do a little week 5 preview. Oh, and you see the smile on my face. Oh, is it a weekend? Oregon at Penn State, a.k.a. the whiteout. Alabama at Georgia. LSU at Ole Miss. Auburn at Texas A&M. Ohio State going over to Washington. And USC at Illinois. Just a stacked week. And it's not even counting the Ryder Cup. Big golf fan. Thank you for watching No Fall Weddings. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Can't wait to see y'all next week. Go Irish.